If you look at the AFC playoff bracket, there's a glitch in the matrix. The Denver Broncos are the number 1 seed. They have the bye and they have home field advantage. But if you listen to the national media, they're the worst number 1 seed in history. On the other side, you have the Buffalo Bills, and they're not the favorites, and let's be honest, if you watch them barely scrape by the Jaguars last week, they look shaky. So the question is Denver actually a fraud, or have we just been looking at the wrong numbers? I went into this analysis with zero assumptions. I don't care about the narratives, I just wanted to see the raw data. I wanted to know how a team with average offense and, spoiler alert, a defense that doesn't force turnovers managed to win 14 games. So I fired up Python to simulate the divisional round, and the results were terrifying. For the data nerds, I'm using the NFL Data PY library. I pulled every single play from the 2025 season. I'm filtering for rate stats only. Since Buffalo played in the wildcard round, their volume stats, total yards and total touchdowns, are inflated, so we need to look at the efficiency per snap. My first step was to audit Denver's 14 wins. I wanted to see how they won, because usually the number 1 seed dominates and they blow people out. But when I ran the margin of victory analysis, the output was shocking. This chart explains why everyone doubts the Broncos. Look at the orange bar on the left, 11 wins. Denver won 11 games this season with a single score, 8 points or less. In the analytical world, one-score games often considered luck or coin flips. To win 11 of them is almost historic. It borders on a statistical impossibility. Now look at the blue bars for Buffalo. They're inconsistent. They blow people out, but they also play sloppy games. But compared to Denver, Buffalo looks like a more dominant team. At this point of the analysis, I was ready to agree with the media. Denver looks like a paper tiger living on borrowed time. I decided to rank every NFL team based on negative plays, mistakes, sacks, and allowing big plays. And this is where the boring Broncos turn into the elite Broncos. At the bottom bar, ranked number 1. Denver is the best team in the NFL at preventing explosive plays. They force offenses to drive down the field 5 yards a time, and they refuse to give up the home run. Now look at their sack rate allowed. That's number 2. So their offense isn't flashy, but they never take sacks. This isn't luck. This is a design philosophy, and I call it the Boa Constrictor. They squeeze the life out of the game. They don't need turnovers and they don't need 40 points. They just refuse to beat themselves. They force you to be patient, and that brings us to the Buffalo Bills. This is the money chart. This is the scatter plot that defines the divisional round. Here is Buffalo on the far right, the unstoppable force. They're the number 1 most explosive offense in football. But look at their vertical position, 26th at preventing big plays. And this confirms what we saw against the Jags. Buffalo creates chaos on offense, but they also allow chaos on defense. They're sloppy. But now look at Denver on the top left. They're the immovable object. Low explosiveness on offense, but ranked number 1 defense at preventing chaos. This is the entire game script. Buffalo wants a shootout, Denver wants a snooze fest. But I need to know how Buffalo creates that explosiveness. Is it Josh Allen just throwing bombs to his wide receivers? I wrote a play that isolates all the explosive passes over 20 yards from the regular season for 2025 and the postseason. I expected to see wide receivers at the top of this list. But look at this. The top bar isn't a wide receiver. It's Dalton Kincaid, the tight end. He has nearly double the explosive plays as everyone else. And if you look at the box in the corner, 12 yards after catch, this is the key to the game. Josh Allen isn't just throwing deep bombs to his sideline, he's hitting Kincaid in the middle of the field, and then Kincaid is breaking tackles. But why is this a nightmare for Buffalo? Because Denver is the number 1 tackling team in the league. And if the Bills' strategy relies on the yards after catch, they're playing right into the strength of the Broncos' linebackers and safeties. So who wins? The fraud narrative suggests that Buffalo blows them out, but the data tells a different story. Buffalo relies on chaos and missed tackles to generate offense, and Denver's the fun police. They don't miss tackles and they don't allow chaos. So my prediction, unless Josh Allen plays a perfect, patient game, which isn't his style, he's going to get frustrated. I think Denver erases the deep ball, tackles Kincaid immediately, and suffocates the Bills' offense. I'm taking the fake number 1 seed to win another ugly one-score game. Broncos 20, Bills 17. Let me know in the comments. Do you trust the chaos of the Buffalo Bills, or do you like the discipline of Denver?